San Francisco isn't a perfect team, but one thing they can for sure do is draft some quality players. John Lynch just hits on his picks. In this last draft, for instance, he was able to pick up his starting cornerback in Renardo Green, probably an all-pro guard in Dominic Pooney, and one of my favorite players in Malik Mustapha, the safety out of Wake Forest. During his collegiate career, you could tell he would make a perfect fit for San Francisco. He came up aggressively from his safety position, and when he was making tackles, he did so with reckless abandon. And unlike a lot of young players in the NFL, it didn't take him any time to get going. During his first preseason game against the Titans, he blew up a running back on the goal line, stopping him before scoring, and was all over the field making plays. And this game, I think a lot of people realized he was going to be starting very soon over George Odom. And once he got his opportunity against the Vikings, after George Odom was burned on this long touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson, he never looked back. So in this video, I want to look over his breakout rookie season and why I think he could end up being one of the better safeties San Francisco has had in the Kyle Shanahan era. Initially, we're going to be examining him in the running game, where I think he shows off that old school physicality in a similar way Dante Hittner did or Deshaun Goldson. Here, for instance, Mustafa is in a traditional safety alignment, and he's able to quickly identify where this back is going, but doesn't stop there, getting up to the back quickly and bringing him down with a vengeance. In a similar way on this play, Mustafa is in a similar type of safety role, but what he does outside of all of his other companions is identifying the cutback lane, shooting it, beating the wide receiver's block, and finally bringing the back down in open space. Impressive as it is to see a safety routinely blow up backs for losses on plays, what I think Mustafa showed off more importantly this year is the ability to be an eraser at the safety position. As a safety, one of your biggest roles is mitigating the mistakes by the first two levels, and here Mustafa is the sole defender left back to stop this running back from getting the touchdown. He does just that by breaking down an open space, shooting through his hips while this running back tries to juke him, and making the secure tackle in the open field. A big reason why Mustafa was so effective at being the eraser for San Francisco's defense last year was how smart he was on the football field. On a play like this from the Lions, for instance, he understands he's the last line of defense, so he doesn't over-pursue, and with the reverse by Gibbs, he's able to get there thanks in part to his awareness and speed. Another part I think not many people talk about when talking about Malik Mustafa's game is his role as a box safety. Essentially, he turns into another linebacker. On this play from the Buccaneers with them running a counter, for instance, he takes his read step, quickly identifies where the back is going, the open hole formed by the offensive line, shoots it, and brings him down for a pretty minimal gain. Once again here against the Chicago Bears, Mustafa does a great job of shooting the open lane left by the offensive line, helping make this a pretty minimal gain. What makes Mustafa so effective as a box safety is how active he is with his hands. On this play, for instance, he's able to use a double hand swipe to beat this offensive lineman. And when we watch this from the end zone angle, you can really see how he gets engaged with this offensive lineman, fights off both of his hands, and then helps bring this back down. I think because of how prolific he was as a run stuffer, many people overlook him as a pass defender, but in fact, he was pretty solid, giving up a rating of just 54.3 when targeted according to Next Gen Stats. Where I think this makes the most difference for San Francisco's defense moving forward, especially with Robert Saleh as their defensive coordinator, is his man coverage. Saleh loves to call a lot of exotic blitzes on third down, which often leaves his safeties in man coverage on tight ends. Mustafa can go against almost any tight end it seems and lock them down. He also has excellent ball skills, attacking the ball even when the wide receiver seems to have caught it. Here, for instance, he doesn't get it with his first punch, but his second. Going back to him in man coverage, Mustafa on this play is manned up against the Bears tight end, and with Caleb Williams going his direction, Mustafa is able to take away his first read, ultimately leading to the sack on the play. He's also a quality zone defender thanks to his vision and awareness he's able to show off on the football field. Here, for instance, San Francisco is running cover 3, and with Sam Laporta breaking to the flat, he's able to quickly identify that, triggers on this pass, and then brings him down for almost no gain on this play. And when he's in the middle of the field just reading the quarterback's size, he does a great job of triggering in the right direction and help breaking up passes. Here, for instance, against the Lions, he triggers on Sam Laporta, delivers an absolute blow on him and helps this not become a touchdown. The final aspect I want to talk about Mustafa and zone coverage is his ability to understand the weak parts of his zone. Here, for instance, San Francisco is running cover 2, so Malik knows he has a weak spot in the zone defense between these two safeties where Rome Odunze is running a seam route. And if this wasn't tipped, it probably would have been a Mustafa interception going the opposite direction. So even though Mustafa was selected in the 4th round, I personally see a player with Pro Bowl potential, especially entering a defense like Robert Saleh's, and he's going to continue to get bigger, stronger, faster, and more instinctual on the football field. But ultimately, these are just my thoughts on Malik Mustafa's breakout rookie season, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below.